got some wind damage here in a few of these rows. I don't know if you can see that right there. It's all, the rows are all blown down. So running in under them this way, it cuts them off quite well. But coming from the other direction, I gotta take this reel and shove it out farther and and pick them up just a little bit before it'll cut them, and that works. That works okay, but just got to constantly keep adjusting the reel. And it's only been about an hour running here, and we're having to slow down already. The grass is starting to get tough. You can see the sun is completely gone behind the clouds, so I don't imagine we'll be able to run very much longer the way the grass is getting tough already. So we'll just kind of play it by how it feels and kind of go along here as we can. So all right, done with this little piece. We'll just head up here around the corner to the next little piece, which is the one we plugged on the other day. Some down there, not very many. Oh, these beans are good and tall. I just bring that reel back in a little bit. Keep them flipped up into the auger. Alright, we're a good stand right here. Alright, done with that little piece. We'll head up here and start on a slightly bigger piece. And as we get closer up the hill, these fields are getting easier to run. The grass is not quite tough yet. And we're away from the creek down the bottom, so hopefully we can keep going here for a little bit. Despite the amount of grass and pigweed we got in here, we've got a lot of beans. It's really hard to see on the camera here, but there's a lot of beans in there. I really can't see it very well through the camera, I'm afraid, but these beans are yielding pretty well. Take this wagon of beans down here to the bin, get them stuffed in there. We were not able to get all that from the combine on there last night, so we got to dump the wagon before we go back to run beans this morning. It's about 11:30ish, and by the time we get back from dumping this bin, we ought to be certainly dry enough to run. So well, here we are. That might be a little bit too far. I have to back up just a touch. day to be putting beans in the bin. Well, there's our first load for today. Key off. I think I'm gonna have to move the wagon back ahead a little bit and get the unloader out of the way. Oh, yep, just a little bit. Oh. Well, there's our first load. I'll go back and finish dumping the combine on the wagon. And then we'll start the combine up and get back to it. Alright, we're back at it. Pretty hard to see the beans over on the left where they're on the outside, but there's pretty good beans there. Well, these fields are just full of foxtail. It's amazing. And I didn't get this particular farm tine weeded like I did the other farms. That's probably making a big difference on the grass, at least in my opinion. The other farms got tine weeded, this one didn't. I did have the old drag harrow in one of these fields back over this way, but the harrow had a malfunction and broke, so we didn't get all the fields on this property. Harrow, the tine weeder and the harrow in the very early stage, they basically do the same task, same outcome with them. But we did get cultivated on this twice, row cultivated, and down here it just looks like we needed to come back and cultivate one more time later to help cover stuff up. But man, the way the year went, we was wet way too long in the spring, couldn't get planted until late. And then we had some off and on rains, and of course summer fair came along and that kept us busy for a week. So we just really got to pay attention to cultivating in our very early stage weed control methods, tine weeding and harrowing and so on, so that we can do a better job. This right here, this is pretty sad. Not very good weed suppression, weed control in this area. There is beans in there. It's been wet enough all year that there hasn't been a shortage for water. So that's a plus. But we'll just keep hammering down, and we've got, boy, that is really bright. There you go. You got the rest of this field and field on that side of the finger, and then a couple small fingers back here, and one over around the corner over that way. We'll get them. Just keep chewing along through the foxtail. Beans are a little better up here on this hill. Definitely not as grassy in this spot. We're almost done with this hill. We were down there in that bottom earlier when we were rolling. Just a little bit ago, I guess, for you guys. Then we got to switch over, get that hill over there. Then you go down through behind those trees, and there's another smaller piece. So yeah, I think there's only about 15, maybe 20 acres left here. Boy, there's a damn spot. Holy moly. Pretty hard to see the wet spots out here with all this extra residue. Extra meaning the grass, the foxtail. Really covers up the ground. That actually will do us a lot of good this winter. We won't have a lot of melt or runoff from the snow. Come spring, it'll, pretty much all just stay in one spot. So that's nice. Anyway, just another pass or two here, and we'll hop across the pond and do that other one. Well, the sun is completely gone. I think it's dropped probably, 5 or 10 degrees outside. The wind has picked up, blowing like crazy, but it's not a damp wind, so with that wind blowing, we might be able to, heck, we might be able to get this farm done tonight. There's only about, oh, what did I say earlier? I don't remember now. There's probably 12 to 13 acres left, maybe, including what we got left to do on this little piece. So, hey, that'd be fantastic if we can get this done, but I wasn't planning on it, so I won't be surprised if we can't get it done. But anyway, I just saw a big buck here when I first pulled in this little piece. Well, he wasn't a big buck. He's probably a good 8-pointer, but he didn't have a real wide frame on it. Had a dead carcass of a buck, probably a couple months dead anyway, laying over along the tree line on the other piece. I showed the landlord, and he's not very happy. He's got this ground for, well, mainly for hunting, the way he bought it, but well, nothing we can do about it. Ain't gonna change it. Anyway, we're just gonna keep hammering here, and hopefully we can have some good luck and get this baby done tonight. This is what the organic soybeans look like when you have good weed control. This is one of the fields that we got tine weeded and drag harrowed. Excuse me, we didn't tine weed them, we just drag harrowed them. This is one of the back pieces. And they're a lot cleaner. Obviously, we had to have good second pass and third pass with the cultivator also, but you can see we've got good stand, hardly any grass. There's a, I think that was a, anyway, just another weed. Can't remember what the heck those are called. But anyway, there's hardly anything out here for weeds in the row or between the rows either. So this is what good early weed control does without being able to spray, guys. Here we got a drowned out spot. This little dish right here is really, really wet. And as I was coming around it a minute ago, combine's empty. I was coming around here and she just completely whipped sideways and I was drifting. She's pretty soft, but now we're getting back over here to the drier stuff and it's got a better stand again. So definitely some wind and deer damage. The wind's kind of blowing it around a little bit. The deer are in here chomping through it. These are really nice. These are really nice beans. Right there. Well, we're done with this farm. We got just a little bit of beans in the back yet. Median ran off with the wagon. He was clear full. So it looks like we had probably 1,500 bushel come off this piece. So that's not super fantastic, but it is what it is. I'll take it. Well, this is the last one. Got roughly about, probably 100 bushel in the wagon. Sent the comedian home for tonight so he can maybe get some homework done yet. I'll run this down here and kind of get an idea how much we got in the bin now. Maybe just from this farm. 500 bushels per ring around the bin is pretty easy to figure out really how much you got in there. Well, we made it. I thought I told him to go home and do homework. Oh well. Nice to have company in the middle of the night in case something happens to go wrong. He telling me I didn't park right.